made me really think about very similar to that. We had a message at church this weekend about the healing at the pool with the man that had been lame for 38 years and how Jesus, when he came in, he went immediately right to that area. He didn't make a stop anywhere else. He kind of immediately went there and he finds the guy and he asks him basically, do you want to get well? And the guy meets him with kind of an excuse, right? Like, this is who I am. Do you not understand? I don't have anybody to help me. And he's kind of stuck in that identity. Like, this is who I am. I can't get there. I'm going to be unwell forever. And, Jesus tells him to get up, pick up your mat, and walk. So it's, as the pastor said, the three hardest instructions that he got, but that we will also get as humans is to get up. We can get up, right? Jesus tells us to get up, we'll do it. He tells us to walk, we'll do that, right? We'll get on board with that because we want the healing, right? We want that miracle. But the in between, it's the pick up the mat. Do we want to hold on to that thing that has held us in that identity for a long time? And what he said was, Jesus doesn't want us to leave the mat there because we might return to it as comfort, as safety, as, well, this just isn't working out, so I'm going to go back. He doesn't want us to leave the mat. He wants us to pick it up, carry it as a testimony as we go on and we're spreading the gospel and, we're moving and following him. And so that just really made me think about that because that was so impactful. Like, just to think about that oftentimes God, when he comes and speaks to us, we don't necessarily pick up the thing, right? When he's telling us to leave it, surrender it, give it to him, we don't want to do that. We want to hold on to it because it's become so ingrained in the identity of who we are. But who we are is really in him. We're chosen, we're loved, we're wonderfully made, all of the things. I have a sign on my back door that says that so I can look at it every day. But we get so tied to those things that are distracting because the enemy is chaos and the enemy does love to remind us of those things. And again, I'll go back to saying that value of community on top of just hearing what Jesus says, because, I've had some very good friends recently that have told me, no, that's the enemy telling you that. Don't listen to that. And sometimes you need that. And so, I just encourage you, if you're feeling kind of stuck, have we picked up our mat or did we leave it so we can go back to it? And that's kind of a hard thing to look at, that inner reflection of, where is my identity lying? Is it in Christ or is it in this thing that, has kind of saddled me down for life? So yeah, I love it.
I love that, Heather. And I think too, like in that, sometimes we immediately, especially in this coaching world, that we can see kind of caught off on the shiny light scrolls that we're on, and it's telling you to like take that thing and make it your torch, right? Like your pain is your purpose, your test is your testimony, your mess is your message, all of those things. I think that there's a season for that. And I think that there's elements of truth there. However, I think some of us are hanging our hats on that so much that it still is your identity, that you actually have not released the element fully to God and you're using it as a safety blanket. And there's been seasons where I've literally tried to put safety blanket away, and I do it through books usually. I'm like, I'm going to put that book on the shelf. I'm going to focus on another book. And God will keep bringing that book to surface. You're not done here. You're not finished here. This story still needs to come back to the forefront. And I'm like, but that's the one I don't want to talk about. And he's like, yeah, that's exactly the reason I put it out here, so that you can constantly be reminded of where you came from, so that you can serve at a higher caliber with more empathy for all of the people that aren't yet there where you've gotten to a place of release. And so I just encourage you to also question where you're at in that timeline, and if it is something that's become a security blanket, or it's something that is actually just you've put away in a closet and God's like, no, this is actually meant to be center stage.